Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 2 of Teachable Moments with Bella Black. That's me. This weekly segment provides a recap of the question of the week post on Instagram in regards to the themes in my new book, Inevitable. Again, if you haven't had a chance to check out the synopsis, please go to www.inevitablythebook.com. So first, I'd like to share with you all why I go by the name Bella Black. So, due to my upbringing and I believe various life experiences, for a long time, I did not know what it meant to be confident or to have confidence in yourself. I didn't understand what it meant to believe in yourself. And so as I matriculated on my journey of life and I began to understand and get to know God and things of that nature, I really began to understand how and why confidence comes from the inside and is conveyed on the outside. And so I think it was because I really never wanted people to view me as conceited, which is why I didn't take ownership of my confidence. But that is no longer. So if you all didn't know, the word Bella means beautiful in Latin. And when you talk about different colors, black is one of my favorite colors. And not only that, but the words that are associated with that color are things that I want for my life, such as power, wealth, success, happiness. I want all those things for my life, and hence I created the pen name or the pseudonym Bella Black. Now, on to this week's question. So last week, I posed the question, what is inevitable in any relationship? And we had great discussion regarding this topic. My followers, they provided profound insight, which led me to pose this week's questions. What are some red flags in relationships? Red flags, people, they are there. You have to pay attention to them. They are always there. So several of my IG followers chimed in with red flags that they have encountered and some of the reasons why they are often overlooked. My favorite response this week came from Just J. Nicole. She shared that the biggest thing she overlooked was a person's inability to communicate in the first disagreement. Now, we know that communication is key. And I for a minute, I just want you all to think about maybe someone that you're with now, maybe someone from your past. Think about your first disagreement and how it ended. How did that disagreement, finally end or come to a head? And I could vividly remember my first disagreement and sitting on the other end of the couch thinking, who are you? So it's oftentimes when we have things like that where we get to see the other side of people where, red flags are presented. And maybe sometimes, we're so caught up in the moment that we choose to forget them. But we know that acknowledging red flags in the beginning can save us a lot of heartache later. Pretty Favored chimed in and said that disconnection from the start of a relationship is definitely a red flag. And I totally, wholeheartedly agree with that statement, because sometimes we think we want to be with someone so bad, and oftentimes we try to force what's not even really there. And so it's important that you acknowledge that if you have a true connection or not. And we know that there are more things that align with who you're supposed to be with and things that you need to look for, but connection is definitely one of them. So if you feel like you're in a relationship and you're forcing it, you might want to rethink your choices or rethink how you're going about approaching that relationship and actualizing it. No, I'm not an expert, but these are just my personal opinions on, various red flags in relationships. So Cast Artist Photo went a little deeper with his response, which actually tied into what Pretty Favored had to say. He said, not knowing your worth and how the long-term impact can cause trust issues and no real connection. Got to take a sip on that. So you have to know your worth. I don't care who you are. You have to understand that you're worth more than being mistreated. You have to understand that you should be treated like kings and queens at all times. And that doesn't equal or equate to perfection. That just means that your partner respects you and they understand the value that you bring to the table. So for me, when it comes to red flags, I personally believe that you should see it for what it is and not what you want it to be. So people, always pay attention to the signs. They're always there. Oftentimes I ask God to show me the signs when I already know that he's showing me, but I choose to ignore them. So I'm advising you all, if you're in a relationship and you see those red flags and you're just trying to stick it out and make it work and it's not working, maybe it's time for you to reevaluate that relationship. And like I said earlier, I'm not an expert, but I have been in not several, a few relationships, and I feel like I could provide some honest, authentic feedback. So, thank you all for tuning in to episode 2 of Teachable Moments with Bella Black. I hope to hear from you all next week. I'm looking forward for more discussion, people. Like, how are we going to discuss if you all don't participate? I want to hear what you have to say. If you aren't following me, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I am Bella Black. Until then, stay excellent in all that you do. Peace.